Alright, now I switch back to the bucket. These were much bigger than I anticipated. Alright, now you can get a better look at the size of it. Basically the size of a Volkswagen, and a lot heavier than a Volkswagen. Well, I don't like to lose very many challenges in life. Of course you lose a few along the way, but today I think I might get spanked with one. So if you want to get a quick adventure, see how things go with a project that was a little too big for me. Although in my defense, I didn't actually go out and look at it first. Let's go see what happens. Oh, and by the way, it's the first time I ever really broke one of my big chains. I think it was like a 5,000 pound chain. Busted it, and it wasn't at the hooks. A link busted on this stump. All right, here's a look at today's mission. This was another kind of a junkyard cleanup. Wasn't ours, another guy did it. They bought this, and he come in with a skid steer and got it all cleaned up. But it looks like I got to take out them 3 stumps. That's not really going to be fun because they're fresh. They just cut these down. They're hardwoods, so this could be a long day. I brought the slasher, so hopefully that does its job, and I'm also hoping that the ground is still pretty moist. But we'll get going on it. Alright, I might as well go after the biggest one first. I'll start with the 2-foot bucket and see how it does, because I know I'm going to need to move a lot of this dirt out from these things. Oh yeah, this is going to be interesting, let's just say. Alright, so just to give you a little bit of background, this is a for hire gig, and I'm doing it for a friend of mine. It's his family member, one of his family members, but he said, hey, there's a couple stumps there that are about 2 foot across, you know, and they need to be pulled, and they're green. They were just cut down. So I said, yeah, I'll come out and do it. I gave him an estimate for the project, because if I've pulled one stump, I've probably pulled several hundred. You know, a lot of them still attached to trees, but I've pulled my fair share of stumps. Anyways, it was a little bit of a mix-up of communications. So at the top of the stumps here, which are about 3 foot high, it was pretty close to 2 feet. But at the base of the tree, it was like 5 or 6 feet. So a little mix-up in comms. Anyways, that's how I got here. So I'm going to try to tackle the biggest one first, and then we'll see how things go. And I'm confident I could get this stump out of the ground. However, it's a paid service, and I want to be fair to people that I'm working for, so let's see how it goes. So this is going to be probably a little bit of a marathon dig. Alright, I'm going to jam, just start digging, grab me a monster cocktail and let her rip. Jamming on one really big, probably taproot over there so far. Alright, I'm putting the ripper on because I'm hitting some big roots down there. So I'll try to loosen them up and then come back with the bucket. Alright, now I switch back to the bucket. Yeah, these were much bigger than I anticipated, so I'll see if I can get this big one out or not. And if not, I may have to bail on it. I mean, I know I can, but it's a matter of, you know, do I want to sit here for 6-7 hours working on one stump? Or just call it in and let them get somebody with a little bigger machine. Although bigger machines, you know, it's going to cost you $250 an hour for the size that really needs for these kind of stumps. But we'll see. If I could just get it to flinch and just budge, then I know I try and get a better look at the size of it. Basically the size of a Volkswagen, and a lot heavier than a Volkswagen. Alright, now I put the ripper back on and I'm trying to get underneath it to bust whatever's still holding it. It budged a minute ago, it budged, so that's giving me hope. So here's kind of a look. It's hard to tell, but I'm already at least 4 feet down. So my tracks are in the air right now. You could see my blade is against the base of the roots, and I'm reaching across to the backside to continually try to get them teeth underneath this big root ball. Well, now I'm wondering if I actually saw it budge or not. Just working my way around to get at different angles to poke underneath it. I mean, once it cracks loose, it's done. It's over, game over. But getting to that point is the hard part. Kind of wishing I had my block and tackle with straps in that, because those would come in handy if I had a block and tackle where I could double or triple my strength. Pulling it out with a chain, keep chipping away at it. Well, I broke my first chain ever. I chained it from the top. I was either gonna go from the top or underneath to just try and loosen it. I had it onto the Bobcat, and this is a big chain. It's one of my bigger chains, and it busted. It busted right off. Look at that. Busted a hook. I mean, not even a hook, a chain link. Alright, well, I think there's another section of chain here somewhere. You know, I felt it moving. I'm like, it's starting to move. And then that's when she snapped. So I don't know if I budged it, because I was paying attention, because I was pulling myself with the boom also from the front. Where's that other piece of chain at? At least I can get my hook back. Alright, well, this is where I'm at right now. Alright, so at this point I already had over 3 hours of actual digging into it, not to mention transport back and forth. So let's flip over to my live assessment of this and see what happens to finish this out. All right, I surrendered to a bigger machine. I told them it's just really not feasible me to continue working at these, you know, for $125 an hour. So they're gonna call a bigger machine and I'm gonna head out. I tried to not charge her anything, but they're really good people, so they just gave me a little gas money and stuff, which I appreciate.